Clutch Trucker is filmed before a live and self-quarantined studio audience. Right, Rusty? Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker channel. Subject of today's video is mainly Covid-19 and trucking update. Is it getting any better out here? And the shorter answer is no. The rates blow. Thank God I work for who I work for, Turquoise Trucking, or I'd probably be really hurting. Let's explore. Now, when last we spoke, I had delivered a load up in Appleton, Wisconsin of forklifts on Monday morning. Then they were trying to find something for me that afternoon, and, well, you know, they couldn't find anything. Well, no, that's not true. They could find things that didn't pay, that paid like almost nothing, and I would have been driving for almost free, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. And Turquoise knows I'm not going to do that, and they don't make money unless I make money, so they're not going to move me just to move me. So it wasn't until the next day on Tuesday that we finally got a load through Echo Global again. Thanks, Dave Ackerman. Which didn't pay great. It actually paid kind of lousy compared to the way the rates used to be, but at least paid me enough to do it, to drive, and made it worthwhile at least, and I wasn't losing money. I made a little piece of lettuce off of that. But the downside was it wasn't. I picked up right there where I was in Appleton, Little Chute, Wisconsin. Downside was it wasn't supposed to deliver till 9 a.m. Thursday morning. So I told Dave, well, I'm just going to run, balls to the wall here and run as hard as I can tonight, and get as far as I can close to Memphis, and then I'm going to not go all the way close to Memphis because the only truck stops right close to Memphis are in West Memphis, Arkansas, and that's scary town. I stayed at those truck stops. There's a Petro, a Pilot, a Flying J, a Love's, all there at the same exit at Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And hookers and junkies, and it's just, it's cargo stolen, trucks broken into. I stayed there twice, years ago when I first started trucking, and swore I'd never, ever stay at that exit again. So I told him I'm going to stay like an hour or two north, and then call me in the morning and let me know what happens. And so got parked, and then he called me early in the morning at 8:30 and said, I got you at 10 o'clock. I'm like, I won't make the 10, but is that okay? And he said, yeah, they want it. Go ahead and go on in. And you say, what is the load I had? It sounds like it might be something essential. So to some of you, this might be coffee, load full of coffee. And I know to a lot of you, that's essential. I'm not a coffee drinker, so to me it's not. But take away my Mountain Dew, I might feel the same way. So that's where I get my caffeine. And so, yeah, they were able to get me in the next day on Wednesday morning. So I hauled my butt out there and shut on down the road. Checked in, they took me right away, which is great. And I was done by midday on Wednesday. And again, we ran into the same situation. Yeah, there were loads. They just weren't paying what we wanted to get for them. A couple of them paid okay, but the problem is it would put me into an area that just wasn't any better and might be even harder to get out of. So there's just not a lot of loads out there. Now here's the part that really pisses me off. And of course the loads that are out there, the brokers and the shippers have realized, of course, there's more trucks than there are loads right now. So the rates are not only in the toilet, they're flushed, baby. They're down there. And you moron drivers, you morons at trucking companies who are taking these loads who pay less than $1 a mile, the nice way to say it is you should be slapped in the face repeatedly with a wet fish. I would like to say something worse, but I'm trying to be nice. I know a lot of the companies, the bigger ones, are just taking these loads just to move their drivers who are paid by the mile so they don't have their drivers quit on them. But you're killing it. You're killing it for all of us out here. Shame on you. So the rates are terrible. But we're not going to move that cheap. So, I'd rather sit and wait a day than to move for less than it's worth for me to drive. And that's what happened again, is sat in Memphis for a day because it wasn't worth the loads yesterday. And so they finally came up with one today that actually pays fairly decent, but there's a catch. It's a load going to a Target distribution center in upstate New York, near Syracuse. If you've watched my videos, the last time I went to a Target distribution center, they bent up my trailer. I'm not thrilled about that, and I have to drop the trailer on that end and leave it with them for anywhere from 1 to 3 days. Yeah. Good news is, because Bo at Turquoise is the world's best dispatcher, yes, Bo, I did say that, he made sure that they're going to pay us at least $250 a day to sit. So every day we have to sit there and wait on our trailer. If it does take up to 3 days, we're going to rack up $750 for that. So at least that's something, because, Bo wasn't going to take it unless we got that guarantee. So thank you, Bo, for that. Do appreciate it. If we can get it unloaded, I can be up there as early as Saturday night at midnight. So say if it only takes a day and I get to pick it up sometime early Monday morning, well, great. We still got the $250 for the day, and then maybe I can find another load on Monday. He can find something for me. If it takes a couple more days, well, at least I'm getting paid for sitting. It just makes me nervous dropping the trailer, since the last time that I dropped it, they damaged it for me. But hopefully that won't be as bad. And you may be saying, well, why are the rates so bad? Why isn't there as much freight out there right now? We still need toilet paper. We still need all that stuff at the grocery store. And this is true. Problem is, think of all the other stores that are closed. Your Kohl's, your grocery, not grocery, other clothing stores. Things like that aren't selling stuff. And not to mention, with a third of the country out of work right now, what are you going to buy? Are you going to buy some more bread, or are you going to buy socks? You can get away with a hole in your socks for a while. I know I've picked up a load of like jockey underwear. I think it was South Carolina somewhere. Going someplace. That's a good load because it doesn't weigh all that much. And but like I say, Kohl's and all these other department stores and stuff, they're closed. So, and like I say, a third of the country out of work, you're not going to spend your money on that extra stuff like that. Another third of the country, like me, maybe you're not out of work, you're working, but your work has been, diminished. You're not making as much money. So that I'm making half easily, if not more than half of what I was making. So there's a third of the country in that boat. The other third, that a lot of them can still work from home and are still making their full salary. Hey, well, good for you. Sorry you can't get out and shop, but, you got it good right now compared to the other 2/3 of us that are out of work or our pay is way down. So that's why we're not moving as much stuff. So that's where I go back and forth on should we open everything up or not. We kind of need to save the economy, but I get it. Then, we might have cases shooting up again of the coronavirus. So I go back and forth, but we can't keep going like this. That's for sure. Now, on a happier note, Amazon lockers is what I want to talk about now. I tried using them, a few months back in like February of BC. That's what I call February before coronavirus. Back in February BC, I tried ordering some vitamins and stuff because I was running out, and I knew I wasn't going to be home anytime soon. So some truck stops, some TAs and Petros now have Amazon lockers. If you've heard of Amazon lockers, they put them in some locations. I think they're in a lot of the general nutrition center stores and in Rite Aids and so forth, where you can have your whatever you want delivered to one of those, and then when you have a chance to go by within 3 days of it being delivered, you go pick it up from this locker, they give you a code. And I'm thinking, great, this is perfect for truckers. Now the catch is, it really only works if you're on like a long trip that maybe spans a weekend, or it's going to take 4 or 5 days, at least 3 to 5 days to get to where you're going to go. And if you can find a TA that has the Amazon lockers that's 2 or 3 days down the road where you can go pick it up. So it takes a little finagling, but I found that once that in Knoxville, Tennessee, the TA there, they had Amazon lockers, and I tried to order the vitamins, like I say, back in February BC. But then, of course, that load got canceled on me after I had already planned all that, and I ended up going a different direction. So good news is, if you do order something through Amazon, and now you pretty much have to be on Prime, so make sure it gets it there in 2 days so that you have time to pick it up. At least if you don't pick it up, they just cancel your order and take it back, and no fines whatsoever. So that's good. So now, rewind back to earlier today, which was the 7th Thursday of May, and I'm down in Memphis. I had to wait a few hours to go pick up my load. So I went on to Amazon to see if I could get some masks. I ordered some a couple of weeks ago through Amazon and had them go to the house. The problem is they didn't get to the house before I got through because, of course, everything on Amazon's been slowed down. They're starting to pick back up to their regular speed again, but for a while there, everything was really slowed down. So I missed that. So they're sitting at the home waiting for me, and hopefully my wife and kids are using them. But I did find there was one, if I ordered, I still was able to use my Prime, and it could hit Fogelsville or something, I think it's New York, near where I'm going to deliver or drop my trailer this weekend. And I knew that it'd probably be there at least through Monday, and I found that said they would deliver it there Saturday night. So I'm like, awesome. So we're going to try this again and see how that works. So luckily this load didn't get canceled on me after I made that order. And it already said it shipped. So here it is, late Thursday night, early Friday morning. I'm in Glade Spring, Virginia at a Petro, and I'll be up there tomorrow night. Well, yeah, because it's Friday at this point. Yeah, Saturday night. And hopefully that'll be waiting for me. So I'll see how the Amazon lockers thing works. And truck drivers, I think, like I say, if you're on a longer trip, and and you're going to be out on the road for a while, like I'm always out for quite a while, at least weeks at a time, and you're running out of some stuff, you might be able to do it through Amazon. So I'll let you know how this locker thing works out. Hopefully it will work, and if so, that's a pretty cool thing for truck drivers. They're putting them in more TAs and Petros across the country, and if you go onto the TA Petro Truck Smart app and look at certain locations and go into the All Amenities tab and scroll on down, it'll list Amazon lockers if they have that at that location. So, of course, the news doesn't want to talk about how lousy trucking is right now. They just want to try to keep doing the happy news of, how all the essential people are working so hard, and aren't these heroes great and wonderful? Yeah, and, they did stories early on about, NBC Universal did one on me. You can still look it up on their NBC website, Unsung Heroes of the Pandemic, and I'm on there. And of course, they only did the happy side, basically, and why I'm out here and isn't this noble and all that. Well, I'm trying to make a living, that's why I'm out here. But of course, I've sent them information about how it's kind of downturned and things are lousy and the rates are terrible. And funny thing, they've never contacted me back to do any kind of a follow-up, because that's not a feel-good story. But this is the truth, and at least I can post it here on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, rates are lousy. I'm still trying to make some money, making less than half of what I used to make. But like I say, compared to another third of the country, at least I'm still working and I'm making something. There's a third of the nation out there who lost their jobs completely, and they're making no money right now. So, Trump, what are you going to do to help those people out? You're probably just going to say, well, my hair is fantastic, because I do everything right, and I'm perfect and wonderful, and everybody loves me, and they've, the coronavirus has supported my entire campaign, and thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please ring that bell for notification. Comment if you would like. I do get to your comments. Takes me a day or two sometimes because I am working. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch out.